Welcome to ASAP Elite. I'm your host, Coach Poole, along with the world's greatest co-host, Professor Haas. Our next guest is the epitome of what our show is all about. Sports broadcaster, public speaker, trainer, inventor, American Ninja Warrior participant, and two-time Super Bowl champion. Proud of Fort Valley State University, Tyrone Poole. Hey, now.
How we doing, gentlemen? Thank you. It's an honor to be on your show. Thank you for having me today.
It's such a pleasure, man. I almost ran out of room, man. Listening to all those.
I know, man. There's a lot of commas, huh? It's like one of them big medical words. You know, you got the medical word. You got about every letter in the alphabet. Now, hold on. We got to shorten this thing down, man. Let's just call it MSM. That's it. We're going to get away from that pharmaceutical name. So all of those titles, praise be to God, you know, I'm just thankful, man. Just thankful.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely we got to make sure we recognize this is an HBCU product.
Sure.
HBCU product.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about, man. We can work that thing too. So, you know, you don't necessarily have to go to the big boys. Yeah. If you got talent, and my thing is, guys, cream always rises to the top. All you got to do is be stirred correctly. If you stir it correctly, you coming up, man. Can't nobody stop that cream from rising. Can't stop the sun from rising, right? I don't care where you go. You still got some effect of the sun coming up.
Yes, sir. Hey, one thing about it, when they speak HBCU, they can't say your name. They can't say Strahan's name or Satellite's name. You get what I'm saying? Or any of those cats. Even Jerry Rice without mentioning Tyrone Poole.
Well, you know, HBCU, historical Black colleges and universities, you know, it's so many great talents, past and current, that have come out. Talking about Fort Valley State, Marquette King, who actually is into music now. He has a music career, but Marquette used to kick for the Raiders, you know, the first.
Oh, yeah.
But he was the only Black punter at the time. Then you got Ricardo Lockett, Rocket Lockett. So, you know, played with the Seahawks, and Ricardo almost tied me for the most Super Bowls coming out of the university. And I was pulling for Ricardo, but at the same time, I said, "No, Ricardo, baby." Ricardo, man, coming out of that thing. Greg Lloyd, Eddie Anderson, Rayfield Wright, you know, the list goes on, man. Guys who open up the door, you know, Pepe Zelder. You got a lot of guys that come out of Fort Valley State and the SIAC along that conference. So a lot of great products.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, hey, let's get into it. Can you do an honor introducing yourself to our audience by explaining how you were introduced to football up until the point where you decided to hang up the cleats?
And how long we got, man? I'm like, what, everybody got your pillow?
Just take your time.
Yeah. Hey,
my chair's pretty comfortable.
I'm asking everybody else, they got their pillow, because I want them to find that comfortable spot on that pillow. You know, you got to fluff that pillow, find that comfortable spot. So, but anyways, a lot of people don't know that I actually quit football in high school. So, you know, my story, man, is for basically what I'm about to tell people. This story is for anybody who felt like you messed up, slipped up, made the wrong decision, made the wrong turn, and you think it's over. No, man, it's not over. That's why I say the cream, when it's stirred, put in the right environment, it will rise again. You know, so I quit football in high school. Senior year, quit football. And actually how it happened, I just misinformation. And that's how sometimes things happen in life. It's not a great thing. You know, sometimes people do things that mess themselves up and they may not know about it. And of course, you got people who know they're messing up and they mess up. Well, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who you made a decision. You're like, man, look at here. I didn't mean to do that. And you feel like it's over. Okay. You can get back on that highway to life and get to your final destination, even though you might have taken that little side road when paying attention, dealing with your radio or talking on your phone, which you should not be texting and driving, and you went off on the wrong turn. You got in the wrong lane. Now you off ramp. Well, you know what? I did that. I got off ramp. I quit football in the high school senior year. Didn't tell my coach that I had to stay after a teacher made me stay after to retake a test. So instead of telling maybe some of my teammates or somebody to tell the head coach, I had to stay after. So I didn't do that. So now I'm trying to hustle and put my uniform on. Mind you, now practice has already started, and we have to walk probably about a 5-minute walk from the actual gym to our practice field, maybe a little bit more. But anyways, so I walk onto the practice field. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm telling you, the worst thing is to walk into either a meeting or on practice field, and you the only one to walk on and everybody else stretching. Or you walk into a meeting and they pause the meeting to like watch you walk in. And now you're like, silently, let me pull my seat out so I can sit down. So I come to practice, the coach, and I was in the front because I'm a senior. You know, most college, most high schools, they put the seniors up front so they can lead the exercises. So I'm just, gonna take my position. Coach said, no, come here. He stopped practice, man. And man, he let me have it, man. And at the time, I didn't know. That's why, again, I love talking to young kids because, man, just because somebody gets on you doesn't mean they dislike you. When someone gets on you, that means they love you. That means that you have a responsibility, and what you're showing right now is not good for those who are looking up to you. So you always got to have somebody who's a leader who can teach. I always feel like you got to have a teacher. A great teacher builds a great student, and a great student one day becomes a great teacher that they can teach great students. So anyways, I'm like, man, coach, man, why you screaming at me? Why you getting on me? And you, of course, you guys know, and everybody listening and watching, man, you got your boys out there, and that is coach letting you have it. Oh, you know it snuck up my ego, man. Hold on, man. What? I'm one of the starters. You talking to me like that? This is what I'm saying to myself, I'm like, you know what? I took my helmet off, threw it on the ground. Again, I thought I was the best. Now, when I say the best, at LaGrange High School, LaGrange, Georgia is where I went to high school at. Okay. Man, we had so much talent come through that school. Walt Harris, Marty Carter, Tony Stargers, Nate Hill. Like, there's so much talent, man. Deshaun Cameron playing baseball, Major League Baseball. We played with one another at some stage, either a person was 3 years older, 4 years older, whatever. We played together. So we nourished each other. And we just had a pipeline to the professionals, man. And colleges would come to LaGrange just to recruit. LaGrange, Valdosta, those were the big high schools. So anyways, I'm thinking, okay, I'm the starter, I'm the man. So that's what my pride kind of stood up a little bit. So anyways, I don't want to stay on this story long. I know we talked about other things, college and all that stuff, but that's why I say my story is so good, man, for life and people, period, that you can mess up and fall off that horse, but get back on and you still can make it. So pride steps up. I threw my helmet off. I said, I quit. Now I'm walking. I'm like, man, he gonna call me back, man. I'm like, I'm the starting tailback, man. Come on now. It's high school football. All they do is run the ball. So I know he needs me. Man, I kept walking. The closer I got to that gate, I'm like, hold on. I started slowing down. I'm like, hold on, he gotta call me back.
Yeah.
I got to that gate, that thing where they call that point of no return.
Right.
I'm like, okay, here is the crossroad.
Yeah.
I either turn around and pick my pride up and walk right back over and say, hey, coach, I apologize. Or I walk on through that gate.
That's right.
Go to that locker room.
That's right.
And that's what he told me. He said, get off the field, go to the locker room. Now, I'm pretty sure the coach didn't want me to leave. I didn't want to leave. But at some point, there has to be order set forth. And I was breaking order. So he's the head coach. He got to set a tone for everybody else, because if I do this and I'm supposed to be the leader, the captain, what you think all the other 11th graders, 10th graders, and 9th graders gonna do?
Yeah.
So,
well, especially with the captain, right? Especially with the captain.
There you go. Now, man, I'm telling you, guys got to shut me up, man, because I'm a talker now. I'm a talker.
Hey,
this is relevant.
Look, we brought you on the show to talk.
Every day, especially in all facets of sports, especially from the grassroots level. You get what I'm saying? They need to hear this. Because they're gonna go through it when they think that they're the man at say in Southfield, Michigan, and then they, end up going to college, and it's some cats from Valdosta, Georgia, you know what I'm saying, that's really out here doing it, and it humbles you. You get what I'm saying? So it's better to be humbled now, you get what I'm saying, on this level. So when you reach bigger and better things, you're already prepared for it emotionally and mentally. Yeah, and also, I just heard in my head, like when you were walking away, like, okay, I'm leaving now.
I'm leaving. Walking out the door. I'm about to leave.
Exactly. I'm leaving. Anybody gonna get coach? Come on now, coach, it's your last opportunity. But again, like I said, what I didn't understand, that's why I named off all those guys that have gone on and played professional ball themselves. Mm-hmm. That's how rich and deep we were. So the guy behind me, the only difference between him and myself may be 5 pounds. Mm. Maybe he got a 85.6 school average and I got a 87. Yeah. There's no difference because we were that talented at LaGrange High School. So I get to the fence, that point of no return. I go into the locker room. Now my guys after the practice, because back in the day, I came up on the rough side. They say, coming up on the rough side of the mountain. So I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth, so I had to wait to catch a ride home with one of my buddies and his parents. So I'm sitting in the locker room, man, just sitting there waiting, going back and forth, just like Color Purple, oh, Miss Silly, Miss Silly confused. Tyrone confused, but anyways. But anyway, so practice, is over. Guys come up, man, they try to talk to me. Some of my guys, some of my buddies like Tyrone, man, you need to go back and talk to coach, man. Go back and talk. So it's almost like you got the guys who trying to create evil on this shoulder, and you got your angels on this side. Yeah, so the guys over here, the angel side, they're saying, Tyrone, go back, man. Apologize to the coach, man. Get back on the team. We need you, man. Then this side over here, when I go to say, hey, you know what, you're right. This side here said, man, you see what he said to you? Man, he tried to dish you in front of all of us, man. You the laughing stock. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know what? Forget it, man. Y'all take me home, But praise be to God, man. I had enough talent. And there was a lady, alumnus. Now the season went on. The season was over. I didn't get no scholarships. But I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I did get scholarships, but back in the day, coaches, unlike today, social media, they can't hide players. But back in the day, they could hide players. Yes.
Even when I played, they could. Yeah.
There you go. So you guys know, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people listening say, hey, you know what? In our age range, they're like, yep, I remember that. I remember they could do that. Man, they could take a letter and drop that thing in the trash can, and you never know you got in the
Never know.
Yep. And then the coaches, they could tell the scouts, he said he's not interested in your school. And the scouts don't stop. Yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna put the cart before the horse. I found out that I was being recruited as far out as the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I found this out after I got drafted by the Carolina Panthers, because Kevin Steele, who is, I think he's still with the Auburn Tigers, he's the defensive coordinator of Auburn. It's a tradition, at least when I was playing, when you get drafted defensively, you go meet all the defensive coaches. Hey, we glad we drafted you, So Kevin Steele told me, he said, hey, I remember you, LaGrange, Georgia. We were recruiting you when I was at Nebraska, because he was at Nebraska and Dom Capers brought him in. 95 was Carolina's inaugural season. So Dom Capers coming from Pittsburgh, trying to get his coaching staff. So he got Kevin Steele from the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So that's how I found out that I was being recruited as far out as Nebraska. So if Nebraska was looking at me, I know the University of Georgia had to be looking at me.
Okay, we got to stop right there. I'm sorry, Tyrone, because see, we probably got a lot of folks that don't understand. See, back in those days, if Nebraska was recruiting you, everybody was recruiting, because that was the Tommy Frazier, Nebraska. If they lose a game, you like, who beat them?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was those days. If Nebraska was recruiting you back then, everybody was recruiting you. And Alabama who?
Exactly.
So that I just had to make sure I put that out there. You continue.
They VHS and adjusted that tracking.
And that's just like they say back in the day when grandma or somebody cook a meal real good. Mm-hmm. Grandma would say, oh, y'all gonna love this meal tonight. because I put my foot in this one here.
Put the foot in it.
Put the foot in it. So when they say they put the foot in it, boy, they put some work. That's gonna be some good eating tonight. So I ended up, the season was over, and all my other buddies getting scholarships, man. And everybody like, Tyrone, where you going? I'm like, man, I ain't going nowhere, man. So there was an alumnus. She was a teacher at LaGrange High School, went to Fort Valley State, and her son played football, so she knew athletes. And of course, just like any alumnus, you're gonna try to recruit for your school, right? So she came up to me, she said, Tyrone, her name was Miss Hurd. Stafford Hurd is her son. And I got a book I wrote, Ultimate Success in the Game of Life, and I mentioned her in my book because she actually opened up the gateway. And she says, Tyrone, where are you going to school? I said, nowhere, Miss Hurd. She said, you want to go to Fort Valley State College? Back then it was Fort Valley State College. It's Fort Valley State University. Now they don't came up.
Right.
It was originally Fort Valley State College. So I'm an FVSC product. But so I told her, I said, hey, I said, yeah, I go. All I heard was when she said, you want to go to Fort Valley State College? I heard college. I heard another opportunity to put that helmet on, baby, put them shoulder pads on, and man, let's go get it. So when I get there, I took the admissions test, got in. So I walked on. And so we had in spring because I couldn't go do anything that fall. So I came on, walked on that spring. So I went out punt returning, and I ran track too. So I ran track in high school. And I would tell all athletes this: I'm a jaywalk and go back a little bit. All right. You guys not going to get a ticket for jaywalking with me. All right. So we're going to go back. So I tell all athletes, run track, man. Run track and be a multi-sport athlete. Don't be, hey, I'm just going to do this sport and that is it. No. You're doing yourself disservice because track is a sport. I don't know how many times I see guys who get into high school or college and they try to hire people to teach them how to run when you had an opportunity to do it for free in high school. So that's another thing in life. Why pay for something when you could do it for free? That's right. So I ran track in high school and that helped my technique. So when I walked on for Fort Valley doing spring ball, who all want to catch punts? I want to catch punts, because I returned kickoffs actually at LaGrange High School. Grover Cox, who was a safety for us during the time I was playing at LaGrange High School, he returned the punts. So I'm like, hey, I know I can return punts too. So I went back there, catch the ball, man. I run like Eric Dickerson, man. Everybody know ED, Eric Dickerson, boy, that high knee action and boy, it looks so sweet. So, from there, they started to like me, the head coach. And you can tell when people starting to like you because they, start talking to you, putting their hands on your helmet. Oh, good job. They pat you on the head. Good job. I'm patting you on the shoulder pads, So then here's where the story really flips. Now I was a running back at LaGrange High School. Now the first day of spring practice, guess where I go? To the running backs, right? Yeah. About the third day in spring practice, head coach, Coach Porter, Douglas Porter, great man, retired now. He comes to me. He says, Tyrone, Coach Brown, that's how he talk. Coach Brown wants you to come down and work out with the defensive backs. I'm like, defensive backs? I'm like, man, I don't spend all my 4 years learning how to run through the A gap, the B gap, catching that tall sweep and run that route coming out the backfield, the flare route. Now you want me to go to defensive back, something I never did, went backward. I've always gone forward. This is what I'm saying to myself. So, I go over. And as I tell people, the rest is history. So again, you can quit and still make it. You can change your position and still make it. Because I believe at the end of the day, it takes an eagle to recognize an eagle. And Coach Brown, who he played in the NFL. He played the Cleveland Browns back in the day with Jim Brown and all that. So he's old. He played with the Miami Dolphins, Jake Scott. I think he played behind Jake Scott. So he recognized talent. And the one thing I did have working for me was quick hips, feet, explosion, and speed. That's right. And, then what I did, I'm going to fast forward it. coming to my senior year, because a lot of people ask me at Fort Valley, Tyrone, when did you know that you were going to be in the NFL?
Mhm.
And I tell them I did not know until maybe the beginning of my junior year. So again, the moral of the story in that is you never know when your time for stardom is going to happen. So you keep believing and doing what you believe you can do. Even if you have to change positions, everything works out for the good if you work it. Like I said, if you stir that cream, it's going to rise to the top. But if you get mad, get upset because the landscape has changed, the way they're writing your story is changing, and you stop stirring, what happened to that cream? That joker sits back there at the bottom. So even though I was changing positions, I said, you know what? I'm going to take it on, something that I got to learn. I feel like I'm gifted, talented enough. I believe in myself. I'm a stir. I'm at the stir a little faster because I got to learn that learning curve.
Mhm.
So long story short, I didn't know until my junior year. Scouts would come around to our defensive backside, and everybody started whispering, oh man, that's the Cleveland Browns, man, the Cleveland Browns, and all, they little pads, their arms folded, stuff like that. And I'm like, who they looking at? Then we do special team, punt return, see the same guy, kind of like looking and everything like that. So long story short, I get into my senior year. And one of the things that I tell people, again, this is another moral to the story. There is a formula. Hear me out, people who are listening and watching. There is a formula for success. Okay. Now, the formula for coming out of an HBCU and making it into the pros, you guys ready for this? The one word is domination. You got to dominate on that level. You got to make it look like you don't belong on that level. You got to make it look like, hey, you know what? You got to make people say, what is this kid doing on this level? You got to make them say, did he not get his grades? Did he not do good on the SAT? He don't belong here. And that's what it was for me. I had learned a new position, but I felt like, praise God, I was so talented that it worked out for me. But my senior year, I totally dominate. And what I mean by domination, my senior year, they would put me on the best receiver, no matter who we played. Tyrone, that's your guy.
Mhm.
He goes to the bathroom, you better be there to wipe him.
Lock down.
He said your scouting report was a picture of the best receiver.
There you go. There you go. Hey, who is it? Okay. Now, back in the day at Fort Valley now, it wasn't no like a film study and all this. Man, we had that VHS, put that thing in. And sometimes the team didn't send us no VHS. You had to go out there and play.
Yep.
So, but anyways, I'm like, I covered the opposition's best receiver and not one catch. That's what they say now. I don't know. But I did not give up one catch my senior year. I was so dominant. And you can ask any coach that coached against me while I was at Fort Valley. They would back this story. Anything I'm saying. Now, when it came to like punt returns, man, I could catch the punt, drop it, look down, look up, see where everybody at, pick it up, and man, still go for like 50 or 60 or maybe even a touchdown. PATs, oh man, PATs, I either gonna block it or I was gonna make the kicker push it and it go wide, would be wide right because I was coming from the right side. So yeah, he would push it because he tried to avoid me. And my get off, again, coming from track, my get off was so quick, boom. And I take that little dip and I'm around, them hands come out, and now he see me got the side of his eye coming.
Oh yeah, it's
he
over.
loses focus. So I'm like, I would block it, and there were times where I would block it. It go boom, boom. Anytime you hear that, boom, boom.
It was coming up.
Exactly.
Yep.
I would block it, and I would still be up on my feet, and I would pick the ball up and run it in myself and get the 2 points.
That's right.
But I'm like, that's what I mean by domination. Now, Shannon Sharpe. Now, this is not about me, people. Now, it's Tyrone is so cocky. No. I'm confident, but I also thank God for everything that has happened in my life that I'm able to tell everybody else. So everybody want to know what's the formula for going to an HBCU and making it to the pros? Dominate. Shannon Sharpe. I used to hear stories about Shannon Sharpe. He went to Savannah State. And they say Shannon Sharpe would come into Fort Valley. And man, Shannon had about 5 catches, 300-something yards, about 4 touchdowns. And they say he would have had the 5th touchdown if he hadn't tripped himself up on the grass when he was running. I'm like, that's literally how they say Shannon used to dominate, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I went to the Senior Bowl, there was other thing that helped me out because now I get an opportunity to shut Miles up. Okay, yeah, he dominated on this level here, but can he cover the Virginia Tech receivers?
Yeah.
Can he cover, the Auburn, Tennessees, and the Florida State? Man, look at here. The only difference in my mind, they put their pants on the same way I do. The only difference was I had a Wildcat, which right here, I still got my old helmet.
Yeah.
Still got my old helmet right here, man. This is my helmet right here. I wore at Fort Valley State right here. Still got the 2.9. 2.9 in. So
It's all right.
And this is the helmet that I wore. And there's a story with this helmet here. The Senior Bowl. Talking about the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
In the Senior Bowl, it's a tradition that you
Trade stickers.
That's right.
Yes. What did you see on my helmet?
Nothing.
Wildcats, baby. You want everybody to see that you was a Wildcat.
There you go. I want everybody to see me. I'm representing CU.
Yep.
I don't want nobody. Is he from Auburn? Is he from
No, because you can't tell. You can't tell when you trade stickers. Yeah, you can't tell.
There you go. So that's why this is the helmet I won the Senior Bowl right here.
Wow.
They got Wildcats all around that thing.
Let me see that face mask, Poole. Mr. Poole, let me see that face mask. I see you for sure.
Yeah. Now, I used to have the Eric Dickerson. Everybody called it Eric Dickerson, the one that had the 2 bars on the side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to have that one, but then I kind of went to this one right here. I don't know why I did, but the thing is, this face mask.
You talk about
see the ball.
dominating. You talk about dominating on that level, right? And this is something that I want because when we interviewed Ricky Porter, he didn't go to HBCU, but he went to, I believe, a Division III school, and what he did is he dominated, right? And the thing is that we all talk about it, right? Anybody who was an athlete on any level, for the most part, especially post-secondary out of high school, you understand that athletics period is 90% mental and 10% ability. And so the thing is you had to have that mentality that I'm going to dominate. These guys can't do nothing with me. And see, I call that the it factor, right? There's this factor that when you do what you need to do to prepare to be who you're trying to be, there becomes a point. You had that point, and once you saw that you could do it, now all of a sudden your mental says, all right, we're gonna do this every game.
Hey,
We're gonna do this every game.
I have to say this, man. From the moment you began speaking, right, I'm like, oh my goodness, Tyrone Poole is amazing. Energy is vibrating throughout this room, brother. That positive energy.
Praise God.
Man, yeah, you're something special, brother.
Praise God.
I just had to throw that in.
Yeah, man. No, it's I love hearing your story because there's so many people that can learn from this and forget just on the field, forget just on the court, forget just on the track. Let's talk about how this can help you in life.
Yep.
Right?
And like I said, you can just tell he's just a good brother. Well,
what they say, it depends on who you ask. If you ask somebody success brings his allies and it brings his enemies too.
Hey, and here's the thing: is you didn't arrive. You have not arrived until you got your pool of haters.
That's right.
No pun intended.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's your haters that let you know that you are arriving.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get going. So I recently watched a few clips of yours.
Mhm.
You have the rare ability as the DB, to shut down the entire side of the field and able to jump a route and come downhill and lay the wood. So after 13 years, which is, rare amongst professional athletes.
Unheard of. Almost, yeah, absolutely.
What made you decide to hang up the cleats? And what sign did you have that told you that it was that time to leave football?
Man, look at here again. Man, talk about a story. Again, I tell my kids, I have my daughter, she's 20. She'll be 21 July 22nd. And she loves wrestling. And I said, I'm gonna take her to see WWE in Las Vegas. My son, he is 15 and he's a freshman at Walton High School. And I tell them, the only person that can mess you up is the person in the mirror. Nobody else. People can put hurdles in your way, obstacles in your way, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have the last say so. You are the last one to hold a mic to say, hey, keep the lights on or turn the lights off, everybody. So to answer your question, I messed myself up. I turned the lights off when I know, like even now, I'm coaching at Clark Atlanta. I help out at Clark Atlanta. Ask my DBs. I still work out with them. I'm doing the drills with them. You know, they looking at me like, what? You still at this age? But I kept myself in shape. But anyways, I messed myself up my last year in the NFL with Tennessee. And again, this is like knowledge, man, that I'm trying to give back to everybody else, because I know that someone else is going to walk down the same path. There's no temptation, trial, or test is not coming to none of us. It's the experience that is different, but the principles are overcoming. Every experience is the same, man. It always ends and starts with the person in the mirror. What you speak and what you think is going to determine whether you make it out. So Tennessee, I came to Tennessee about the middle of the season. And so I stayed on the team. And at the end of the year, I'm like, man, I'm better than the guys who they had out there. I'm better than the nickelback. I'm better than, that's just my mentality. Not to say that these guys were not good, but that's my mentality. Man, I'm better than you, man. I'm better than you. I'm going to eat first, But at the end of the season, they talked to me. They said, Tyrone, we want you to come back. And they said, but we want you to come back and, want you to, be a gunner and stuff like that. So again, man, that pride thing kick up. What? A gunner? Man, I've been a star. Yes, I've been a star. I was starting the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? A gunner? But see, what I did not realize, this is what we as people, that's why I say a great teacher will build great students. There are little principles, little things that we need to, okay, am I hearing correctly? What I heard was gunner. Yeah. What I didn't hear was you're so talented at your age that we got to find a position just to bring you back, because we know if you do what you do, you'll be on that field. Yeah. See, I didn't hear that. I heard gunner. The lowest form of being, I'm not going to say it's the lowest, but you don't make no money, should I say, being a gunner. You make money being a starter.
Get that roster spot, though.
Get that roster spot. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, and again, everybody on the football team is good. And I want to make sure I read, that's my disclaimer. I'm not saying gunners are not good. Everybody's good, but we all know you can't make the money unless you are playing one of the prime positions. Right. Offense or defense. So I'm like, man, look at here. I'm like, man, y'all cut me, man. I'm like, man, I ain't come back to be no gunner. But see, again, I did not hear what I need to hear. I heard gunner. But what I should have been hearing is, man, you are still talented. We're going to bring you back, give you an opportunity. And I know with the opportunity, you will start. Now, again, being a starter for 12 years, just like when I went to New England or when I went to any other team, I sat down with Coach Belichick. And I'm like, yes, I want to be here. And he said he wanted me to be there. The tradition is when you go visit a team, you go talk to doing free agency, you go talk to the position coach. And then after the position coach gives you a tour and, making your ego almost bust out your chest, he then take you to the defensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator sits down and talk to you and tell you how they want you there and how you fit into their scheme. And then the final decision, you meet the head coach and the owner. Well, in this situation, Bill Belichick runs New England, so to speak. So sit down with Bill Belichick and, cool guy, man. Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches I ever been around. Learned a lot in that system. And he told me, he said, hey, we want you here. And I'm like, I told him, I said, I work out in Atlanta and He says to me, yeah, we know that. We have no problem with that. But going back again, talking about my mentality, I'm like, I told him I think once we got back to the training camp for the 2003 season, they already had one guy already there that was playing. So I called my agent. I said, hold on, man. They signed me, but I'm not with the starting rotation.
Tennessee?
No, it's New England. New England. So I'm gonna come back. I kind of jump back to New England.
Huh?
I'm following you. Good. Go on, Tyrone. You good?
Yeah. So, but I'm talking about my mentality, right? My mentality and how Tennessee was telling me to be a gunner, but I'm like, man, I am a starter, man. I am a starter. I'm the guy that strikes the match and turn the gas on at the same time and light it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm used to taking the brick, putting the mortar on it and sticking that brick into that wall. Yeah. You know, I'm not the guy that sits on the side and look at this. I'm used to being hands-on in that thing. So if I don't have that, I don't feel like I'm me. So again, I went back to the similarities with the Patriots. How when I was talking to Bill Belichick and I talked to my agent, once we kind of kicked off training camp, I called my agent. I'm like, man, look at you. They not starting me, man. What's going on? You need to talk to Bill, man. If not, they need to cut me and let me go. So long story short, man, I ended up, things worked out in New England. So in Tennessee, going back there, fast forwarding, that was my mindset again. I'm like, man, look here, I'm a starter, man. I'm not. So if I had been thinking correctly, guys, I think I could have added on and go back to the question. I don't think my career would have ended like it did. I think I could have played as long as Darryl Green because my type of talent was a man-to-man corner. Mm-hmm. I still took care of myself. I did yoga. I stretched. Man, I had a hyperbaric chamber, man. I took care of my body now. I took care of my body. I tried to eat right. So didn't have no major injury. That was number one. The only major injury I had during my career was an open dislocation, actually, of this pinky here. But I was playing with the Colts. Peyton Manning throws a pass, trying to get it into Reggie Wayne. And we're in practice going against number one defense. And I put my hand out there to knock the ball down. And, man, that ball was coming in a little bit harder than I thought. And that joker dislocated my pinky, man. But I had a meniscus tear. But other than that, man, God really touched my body and I stayed healthy. So I think that's all predicated in the defenses that I played in, which in New England or Indianapolis or Carolina or Denver, Ray Rose, love Ray Rose. Man, I can go on and on with a lot of stories, but I played in man-to-man defenses. So the only tackles that I'm pretty much going to make is if the receiver caught the ball on me.
Right. So, yep. 2 man. Hey, I did want to add to something and get back adversely to what you were saying and the story that you're telling, and not to get far away from this game that we love so much. You get what I'm saying? And the passion and just the appreciation for playing the game and how happy Steve Gleason was playing that gunner.
Yeah.
The essence and the love for this game. And sometimes we get far away from that and forget, saying how lucky and how blessed we were to play this game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I definitely get where you're coming from and where you were mentally, but look, at the same time, you earned that. You get what I'm saying? Hey, Samari Rowe goes down, you come in, you know what I'm saying? Boom, there you go. You know what I'm saying? So anything could have happened with that. But yeah, you earned that mentality to say that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, there's no knocking on that at all because you put in that work. 13 years, man. 13 years.
Well, yeah, and to his point, what he's talking about was he heard Gunner, and he should have been heard that you're so talented, we want to keep you. Here's the thing: is that we have to realize, right? Mm-hmm. Is that in order to play the game of football, in order to play basketball, in order to play baseball, any of your sports, you need a tool belt.
Yeah.
Right. And you're not always going to be a hammer. Mm-hmm. You're not always going to be that screwdriver. Sometimes you're just the level is needed. See, because if the level if everything ain't balanced, then the house is still jacked up, no matter if you got it built or not. So the thing is that level, that water level, that gunner is still needed. And here's the thing: is you can be a beast at gunner.
Mhm.
And you know, and the thing is, you know, you talk about Dale Green. I think Dale Green played for 30 years, something like that. It was like 29.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is that, you know, what you realize now, right? As God has really worked in your life, and you can see that it just oozes out of you,
That's nice.
what God has done for you. And I think that it's very pertinent that our audience hear what you have to say, and saying that, who you were then. You heard Gunner.
That's right.
What you should have heard was, this is what you
Mhm.
we want you to be. You're so talented, we want you to be. And here's the thing, they didn't even say it, but if you do the right thing and you're allowing God to guide you, you can actually hear what's not being said.
Hey,
So I mean, that's just a good thing to pick up on.
and you know, as a head coach point of view, you got to understand that roster spot for that gunner, right? Jeff Fisher said, if something happens to my number one, I got Tyrone Poole. You get what I'm saying? Boom. Now we get to shut down the entire side of the field. We got a leader on the field. So yeah, it's a lot of things to take into consideration, man. That's real.
And then I'll say this too. How many, and I'm just thinking about this as we're talking, how many gunners, and again, it talks about my abilities, my talent, even after over 12 years of playing, still had enough speed. Now you got to understand the makeup of a gunner now.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to be strong and you got to be super fast.
That's right.
Okay. So for them to tell a person who has played over 12 years that we want you to be a gunner, they still saw the speed, still saw the strength. But like we're saying, we got to now find you a roster spot, because yes, we do have our starters, but we want to keep you on. We believe in you so much that we want to keep you on the team. Yeah. So that we give you a position, just like they do with Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow, we're gonna make you a tight end, even though you got a tight end, but we gotta have you on the roster if we decide to move you up. So in order to move you up, you gotta be inside the system.
That's right.
We can't move you up outside the system.
That's
right.
What
I tell people.
Right.
You gotta be inside the pipes in order to go throughout the house. So if you're not in the system, then we can't use you. So again, like I said, all I heard was gunner, my pride steps in. You know what, man? I'm done. I'm done.
It's all the time. And so many.
That was the end of my career.
Now, hey, let's get into Tyrone Poole. You know, the incredible brother, the incredible man, and all the philanthropy and all the great things that you have been doing, to change people's lives, man. So motivational and inspirational, yet informative.
Yes, sir.
Your book, Ultimate Success in the Game of Life. What inspires you to write that, and how can it significantly impact the next Tyrone Poole?
Actually, let me see here, man. I got a book in here, but actually, the book was someone told me to write the book.
Okay.
That's why I always believe you gotta have someone that sees from the outside, because sometimes we can't see ourselves because
you can't see the forest for the trees. Yeah.
Yes, because we're so in the forest that we can't see it, like you're saying. So I'm so close to Tyrone that I can't really see Tyrone. Mm-hmm. So it takes someone from a distance to say, you know what, you need to do this, you need to do that. Same thing that happened in Fort Valley. Somebody from a distance saw the gift. And without them recognizing my gift, would we be here having this conversation? That's right. Without having the opportunity to play in the league. Mm-hmm. So anyways, so the book was inspired by somebody telling me, Tyrone, man, you need to write a book, man. You need to write a book. And so I'm like, you know what? Oh, man, never written no book, man. So I did it. And the title, we said, okay, what about a title? Mm-hmm. So we came up, people, I would say, okay, how you guys like this? Or somebody would say, what do you think about this title? I said, So we ended up coming up with the title, Ultimate Success in the Game of Life. Mm-hmm. Now, that could lend itself to a series. Ultimate Success in the Game of Life was bigger than life. Ultimate Success in the Game of Eating. Ultimate Success in the Game of Speed. Ultimate Success in the Game of Recovering. Ultimate Success in the Game of whatever. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants ultimate success. Now, why do you call it ultimate success? Because as we know, success is relevant. Yes. Success is based off of whoever figures success is success. If I'm trying to get to the store, somebody's walking, they may say that's success. Somebody going to the same store may say, I'm gonna ride a bike or I'm gonna drive a car. I'm gonna take the bus. It depends on who you are and your experience. So success is relevant. But if I say ultimate success, now what I've just done, I put a definite article in front of it. And if you don't have ultimate success, then you're not talking about the type of success I'm talking about. The chair, a chair. I can say, bring me a chair. You can bring me a black chair, green chair, low chair, high chair, stool, whatever. But if I say, bring me the chair, it's only one chair I'm talking about.
Right.
So ultimate success in the game of life. But in that book, I just took my experiences, telling people they really get a real good opportunity to look a little bit deeper into Tyrone Poole's life, growing up, having rats and roaches in the house. It was like to the point where the roaches, they come and walk across the TV screen, man. And like you just sit there and watch. You may get up and knock them off. And
they don't even bother you no more, right?
A rat, man, a rat, you can hear them in the walls, this going up the wall. Man, we sit there watching TV, man. And I was scared to bring like girls over, man. I don't even think I had a girlfriend in high school. Because I'm like, you always got to bring somebody over to the house. And man, I didn't want nobody to be sitting there and a roach get on their clothes. And I'm like, for me, it was nothing. I'm like, just like Jay-Z, I dusted off,
Dirt off your shoulders, huh?
Yeah. There you go. So the book, man, it tells a lot about Tyrone that a lot of people don't understand. But the book is not about me. The book is a picture that shows 12 dynamic principles that if you work them, no matter what you're doing, whether it's corporate America, whether it's in your family, whether it's sports, or you just want to be a better you will get ultimate success. The book will teach you how to develop the best philosophy for your life. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't have philosophies for their life. If you ask them where they're going, they're like, I'm going with you. Who are you? I don't know. In sports, they say this team cannot win because they don't have an identity.
That's right.
Who are they? So you got to have a philosophy. How your words affect your actions. That's another one. Now that one comes now from the Bible. Yeah. Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yes, sir.
So the book is it gives you that Bible feel, but it also reads like a secular book. So it's not like I'm hitting you with scriptures, but when you recognize you read it, you be like, man, hold on. I heard that somewhere, man. Mm-hmm. How my thoughts, how my words affect my actions. So how to rise above defeat. A lot of people, when they fall down, we've heard the old adage, fall off the horse, get right back on, man. Get right back on, get right back on. Yeah. A lot of people don't know how to do that. When defeat comes their way, they don't know what to do. They think, okay, because I didn't make it, it's over. No, I've learned this. You either win or you learn. You either win or you learn. Right. Throw me a ball. I drop it. I didn't lose. I just found out that when the ball got to me, I didn't close my hands in time. I dropped it. So did I lose? No, I just learned next time, bring my hands closer. So now I got an opportunity to either say, throw me another one, or I'm done. Again, it goes back to the only person that can stop you is the person that you look at every day in the mirror and what you think and what you say. So I'm like, pick the ball up, throw me another one. But again, how to rise above the level of defeat. So, man, it's a great book, 12 dynamic principles, man, that basically they work for me. And I know they work and they'll work for everybody else because I'm a living product of it. So it's just like a trainer. I want a trainer who's in shape. Show me a trainer who got some guns, man, some abs. If I'm working on abs, I at least need to see you got some abs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where can we find it?
Oh, the book. I'm sorry. The book. I would tell people go to my website, TyronePoole38.com. TyronePoole38.com. Yeah, if you can remember my name and my number, football number, you got my website. I tell people also the book is in every bookstore. Every bookstore still. But I tell them, go to my website. And this is why. Number one, the book gets signed by me. Okay. Autograph. Okay. That is a collector's item in itself.
Absolutely.
If you are a collector. Because that's my first ever book. I'm never going to write another first book. Secondly, I learned that authors, you want to know why authors always have their own book sales and signings? because when you do a contract with a book company, which I did my first one through a book company, depending on how the contract is set up, they get majority of the money within the first 2, 3, 4 years or whatever. And then as the years progress and go by, then it becomes almost like 50-50. So that's why I tell people, go to my website. When you go to my website, you help me to retain all of the funding, and then I'm able to like give and help accordingly to other people or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. So that's why I would tell people to go to my website, but you can get the book at any bookstore, anywhere where they sell books, but go to TyronePoole38.com and continue to help me continue to build champions throughout every community.
You know, that's awesome, because what I hear a lot when you were describing your book and when you describe your life, right, is you don't give up, right? You don't quit. And I remember we had Tierra Brown. It's we did a show with him, and one of the things that he said that always stuck with me from the moment he said it. He said, "If you quit, everything you did up until then was for nothing."
Not
that right there is powerful. It's one of those things that they say, simple yet powerful. Yes. You know, and so that's what I hear when you describe what was in your book and when you describe your life is don't quit, because if you quit, everything that you did prior to then was for no reason at all.
Yep. When you quit churning that butter, baby. Hey, Tyrone Poole Foundation.
Yes.
Right. So this question is sponsored by the Tyrone Poole Foundation.
All right.
All right. I wanted to gain your perspective about today's sports from a political vantage.
Okay.
All right. There's a few relevant things going on today in sports, you know, that I wanted to reach out to you and your expertise with you being, you know, front line, you know, with sports, being a broadcaster, you know, but I'm going to pick out a particular topic.
Okay.
So what do you think about the Major League Baseball's, what do you think about Major League Baseball's most recent topic? Should pitchers be able to use a foreign substance for grip and control? Many aces have came out and spoke against it. What do you think?
No, I definitely speak against it, man. You know, you should not need to do anything to enhance. To me, that's just like PEDs. It's PEDs, but you're using a foreign object to help. You're not taking anything internally, but you're doing things externally to give you that performance edge. Mm-hmm. And I think it should be based off of your abilities. Man, they gotta be like the old Satchel Paige, baby. You just gotta be 60 years old and still can throw that thing 100 miles per hour, so to speak. But no, I definitely disagree. I don't think they should juice the balls up. I don't think they should allow pitchers to use anything, because they already doing little side things. They take their hat and take it off and right there for it. They try to get that sweat, that sweat on the fingers so they can, you know, but I don't think you should be able to use any other objects other than what your natural body may give to help you. Now that right there, you can't help it. You know, if sweat get on your hand, sweat gets on your hand, that's just natural. But anything that is not natural, no, it should not be used. I don't think it has no place.
Yeah, what is the, exactly, that's what I feel. What is the difference between that and a steroid? You know, it's gaining an advantage through an external or a foreign substance, you know, regardless of what it is. And I just wanted to bring that up and ask you how you felt about that, because like I said, I just think this is a case of privilege. You get what I'm saying? Privilege. Yeah, so I just wanted to shine a little light on that. You know,
I think sometimes, you know, you have the way you try to keep up is to allow some rules to be broken. And when I say keep up, when you look at sports today, there are so many sports that they say are sports. Mm-hmm. I'm like, come on, man, that's no sports, man. Cornhole. What's cornhole? A sport? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I get it.
I don't know, man. I thought about achieving my Olympic dreams through cornhole, man.
Man, I'm like, man, come on, man, cornhole. But I get it though. Hey, if they say you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. If athletics, the real sports that really demand your physical abilities, a lot of people, are falling off. And there are a lot of talented athletes. So the room or the height is too much for some people. So they have to create an alternate. So, hey, somebody said, you know what? I can't run as fast as such and such, or I'm not as strong as such and such, but I can toss a little beanbag. And they found somebody else. I same way. I can't run, I can't jump, but I can toss a beanbag. Hey, you know what? Let's do cornhole. Yeah, let's get Mikey. Yeah, he'll do it. He'll eat anything. So I'm like, come on.
Hey, Tyrone, that went over a lot of folks' heads.
Yeah,
They don't understand that old school life commercial. I still eat life cereal. You know what I'm saying? I still like it, like Mikey.
Life cereal VHSs. Oh boy. Hey, Tyrone Poole, man, we thank you so much for coming on, man. I just can't let you know how grateful that we are for having you on, for you to share your wisdom and your energy, that positive energy, man. This is gonna just change someone's day as soon as they see it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, and guys, I gotta say this, man. If I may, just 3 minutes, if I may, man.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I gotta say this. Whether you guys can cut it and put it in another part or whatever, but I gotta say this again. It goes back to anybody who's watching and listening. I want you guys to listen to me very, very, very carefully. Okay. Now, again, I mentioned several things that I definitely believe in. The only person that can mess you up or stop you is the person that you look at every day in the mirror. Now, Haas, you said something. You said about the mentality. I want to kind of put a pin right there. Okay. Mentality. Now, I'm going to use an animal. And I learned this story. And I said, man, it's so fitting. The lion. The story about the lion. Why is the lion the king of the jungle? Okay, again, I'm going to tell this story because anybody who wants to be great in life, sports, your home, or just whatever, individually, take the mentality of the lion. Why is the lion the king of the jungle? The lion is not the biggest. The hippopotamus, the elephant outweigh the lion almost 50 times in its weight. The lion is not the tallest. The giraffe is taller, probably some other animals that are taller. The lion is not the smartest. They say the snake, the hyena. Other animals are smarter than the lion. But why is it that when this small cat comes around, all the other animals, they back up? The lion, in my mind, erases all excuses that people have saying that they're not the tallest, they're not the biggest, they're not the fastest. But yet again, this lion, when it comes around, all the other animals respect it. I'm going to tell you why. And again, this is the thing that will help you be the best in anything you choose or you want to be in life. It's the mentality. The mentality. The lion, when it sees the elephant, it believes in itself so much that it don't even look at the size. All it sees is, I'm hungry, man. And this elephant, woo, you in the wrong place at the wrong time, baby. Now, the elephant, on the other end, it is bound by its mentality. As big as the elephant is, one stomp from the elephant could kill the lion. But with the elephant, its mentality hinders it. So when the lion comes around, the elephant looks at the lion and it says, whoa, this joker, he's been known to eat people. Well, let me move out the way. Even though the elephant has the advantage, it's mentality. So all people who are watching, man, I'm telling you, it's your mentality. So you look yourself in the mirror and you change your mind, you create yourself a new mentality. And I promise you, you will get to where you're going to go. Now, it's going to take some work. You got to work that thing. But if you work it correctly and effectively, I'm telling you, you'll look back when you get on that stage and you'll want to walk down and shake every situation that happened in your life. You want to shake his hand along with the people. But it was your mentality that made you keep going. You kept stirring and stirring. Cream always rises to the top with the right mentality, man. So That's my motivation, man. That's my
Thank you,
motivation.
brother. That's what
Tyrone, I appreciate that, brother. That's good stuff.
Yeah, we're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. You know what I'm saying? And you will see us again on the top with the big boys. You get what I'm saying? Because we're hungry. You know, we're hungry and we
Got that lion mentality.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, but thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you, man. Look forward to talking to you again. This was amazing.
Praise God.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for the man of God that you are. You know, that's one of the things I told you from the beginning. We can definitely see. You didn't have to say one. You didn't have to mention God once, and it would have been easy to tell who leads your life. And so that I can appreciate.
Hey, yeah, but hey, we got to get on out of here. Look, thank you so much.
Oh man, thank you guys, man. Again, praise God, man. We all fall down, but we all get back up, man. I thank you guys, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
All
man.
right, you be blessed.
All right.
Thank you.
Got good. All right. Thanks.
Hey, Haas, this was an amazing episode, man. Like I say, it's not been many, it hasn't been many episodes where you can actually feel the energy coming through. You get what I'm saying? The positivity, you know, the motivation, the integrity, the honesty, you know, everything was genuine. You get what I'm saying? And
Oh man, this is a show unlike any other, especially from the beginning, because my man had energy, bro.
What? Hey, you should have seen him on that American Ninja Warrior. You know what I'm saying?
I have to check that out.
All that too, man. Hey, yeah, this dude is special, man. Anytime we get a chance to get him back on, you know, to talk to our people, man, to talk to, you know, anybody that needs to hear it, man, just to get a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation. You know what I'm saying? We need to bring him on. You know, I wish I could interview him every week. Hey, but hey, as of right now, we got to get out of here. We'll see you next week on ASAP Elite.